Leo is this new animated movie on Netflix that I was pretty excited about. I thought it actually looked very good. I really don't like Adam Sandler. I've always, I like him in movies. I think he's good in movies. I feel like in recent years he's tried less and less, and there's been movies where he's given great performances recently, like Uncut Gems and stuff. But even those are just the rare exception. He just wants to make shitty trash like Hubie Halloween still. And but this movie looked good to me. He was providing his voice for it. I didn't know his actual production company was involved for it, but I actually liked the premise and the trailer for this movie, so I sat down to watch it, and I was really disappointed with this movie. So if you don't know the concept of this movie, the concept of this movie is you got this iguana that's lived in this tank in this school for years now. He's dying, basically. He's old. And in the end of the movie, he so in the end he gets out of his tank, becomes this class pet. These kids are taken to school, and he starts talking to them. And because he starts talking to them, uh, he helps them through life because of his knowledge of being in the world. Uh, you know, and so they more of it's a really beautiful story about aging and how elders can provide knowledge to us that we may need in our young people. And it's also got it's a pro educator story, which I really liked. Those are the things I really liked about the movie. um but however, this movie was not very good for a few reasons. It wasn't bad. I actually think this is an okay movie. Like, I think if you turn this movie on in the background while you're making Thanksgiving dinner, maybe this holiday season, it's an okay movie to kind of watch with the family. But at the same time, it just wasn't very good, and I'll never watch this movie again. I really never think about it, which is really unfortunate because I wanted this movie to be really good. And the main reason for that is a this movie's too long. It's an hour 46. Why? This movie's pacing feels so stretched out for just no reason. Then a lot of the heart of the story I feel like is taken away because when he talks to these kids in the trailers, they don't show you this, but he sings and they sing, and it's terrible singing. They're not good at singing. Like, none of the songs are good. They're not meant to, like, I was thinking about it, like, I would not listen to any of these songs outside of the movie. I don't even remember any of them. They sound bad in the movie and they're not memorable outside of the movie. They're just awful songs, and you're like, why are they even here? Because the heart of the story could have been these conversations with these kids. It felt like the creators of this movie were too afraid to have these emotional moments and just let them sit with you because this movie's made for kids. And it's really unfortunate because I feel like kids could get value out of this. I remember being a kid and young in school, and I had teachers that inspired me and made me excited to learn. And that's kind of what this movie's about. And unfortunately, this movie fails at really capturing that, and it just really sucks and makes this movie feel really pandering to little kids when it could have been a movie for everybody. And the music was just bad, the pacing was bad, and it just didn't make for a whole experience. Like, there was just also a lot of unnecessary plot beats in the movie that maybe didn't really need to be there. Could have been trimmed down a little bit. There were some gags in this movie that were like, is this a cartoony cartoon or is this a semi-realistic cartoon? Because it felt like it was both, and it didn't really work. Like, there's a whole bit where the dad's like dancing, and there's these clocks running around. Are there like walking around clock people? Like, I don't understand. It was a really weird joke, and there's not a lot of jokes like that throughout the movie, but this was in the movie at one point. It just felt really weird. Did not work for me, and I thought it really struggled to really get all of its points across. And unfortunately, I do appreciate this movie. It being a pro educator story. And I think this is a kind of a progressive movie in a way for kids to see, and that's really great.